Hey guys, welcome back. I'm David with Mission Moment Mondays. Happy Monday. Happy Easter for all of you that celebrated Easter this past weekend. I hope you all had a wonderful and safe Easter Sunday with you and your families. Wanted to do something a little bit different for Mission Moment Mondays. As you know, this is a podcast that we recently started for three main purposes. One is to raise awareness of the challenges that children that have been abandoned, abused, or neglected have experienced. Two is to dispel many of the myths and the stereotypes that there are about kids in foster care. And three is to encourage you and to inspire you to get involved. And I want to share a little bit about what that inspiration looks like. And that's why we're here at our Unity Park grounds. This was a project that was done through the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce through a program called Leadership Miami and Lead Miami Together, which was the team that adopted us in this project. Came together with a lot of folks in the community that raised a little over $60,000 in cash and in-kind donations to make this amazing park that we have behind me. So as you can see, these are all exercise areas for the kids, for them to be able to exercise and to enjoy while they're here with us on campus in our care. A lot of these great types of exercise equipment, as you can see, I'm going to try this, so please don't laugh here. So this is kind of very simple. You go like this, and then you are using your own leg muscle to exercise. And there's two of them, so the kids can actually compete with one another, which is a great opportunity for them to build a sense of community and, of course, be able to feel better about themselves. We all know that there are many studies that show when children and even adults are exercising, it makes them feel better. It increases your endorphins. And so you feel better regardless of the challenges and the difficulties and the valleys that we all go through in life. So this is something that we pitched to the LM team, and they rallied around the project. They loved doing it. And it turned out to be something so great. We've never had anything like this on campus, so we're really grateful for them. And they were just inspired by a simple story of the way that kids in foster care come into foster care, which is something just as simple as, you know, many of the kids that come in with a trash bag into foster care. And so we're really grateful for them. But this was a mission moment, right? Over several months, but definitely a mission moment for them. And sometimes you really have to get out of your way to find what that mission is for you, for all of us. And sometimes it's not so much about opportunities presenting themselves in front of you where you're going to make a decision if you want to do it or you don't. But sometimes it's also about creating your own mission moment. And I'll give you an example. So we are here on campus. There is a fire station not too far from here. And because the campus is so big, one day there was an accident that happened somewhere nearby, and they needed to land a helicopter near our campus. And so the helicopter's landing, and one of the events for the kids was just finishing. So they were in the van, and they were all looking in awe of the helicopter landing and two fire rescue trucks coming in with the victims of this horrible crash. So they were being put into the helicopter, and they're taking pictures and so on. And I was watching myself as this was happening. So I went over and I said, okay, I hadn't had my own mission moment yet. So I went over and I spoke to the kids, and I told them, I say, look, usually when a helicopter is involved and fire rescue's coming in and they have to transport victims to the hospital, I asked them, this is why I told them this is something very difficult. That means that they're in really critical condition. So I know that this is something very new for you guys, but if you just take a moment and pray for them, they were all taking videos and stuff, but if you pray for them, even though that you don't know who they are, you don't know really what happened, you don't know what's going on, but just the fact that you take a few seconds and pray for their well-being, that they themselves are going to be able to heal, that they won't die, and to give their own family strength while they go through this very difficult moment. They looked at me, and some of them were paying attention. Some of them were like, they didn't say anything, but you can tell they were listening. And so that's how it is here at his house. Sometimes when and I think when you're speaking to any children, that although it may not seem that they're listening, they're paying attention, right? They're paying attention to what you're saying, even your own body language. I think it's important that we are who we are to them and be that example. Just as Jesus, coming off of a Holy Week from last week and celebrating the resurrection of Jesus during Easter, thinking about who he was for us, that he was a person that was always with the marginalized, the sick, the poor, the rejected, those that were going through hard times. And if there's anything that to share little bit of my own heart with you, to share a little bit about that is, we all know that, Jesus has no feet, has no hands, and no tongue other than ours. And so we have to be that change that we want to see in the world, to borrow from Mahatma Gandhi. We have to be that change. And sometimes that's also, regardless if we know what's going to happen or not, that at that moment, that those kids, maybe they took something away from that moment. For me, that was my mission moment. So I share that with you humbly, to create your own, in your own workplace, in your own home, in your own time off.